All right, welcome back, y'all. Welcome to yet another amazing interview from the Dear Fear Book interview series. Today we have the awesome author, Mike Morris, the world-renowned Mike Morris here with us. We finally was able to catch up with him, y'all. You know, he catch flights and all that different stuff, but he is here to be able to talk to us today about his journey of living his best life on the other side of fear. We are so excited about this. For those of you that don't know anything about Dear Fear, make sure that you go over to dearfearbook.com right now and join the VIP list so that you can be the first to know when we launch. I'm Tiana, Patrice, the visionary of Dear Fear, and our mission is to help leaders just like you live their best life on the other side of fear. So again, head on over to dearfearbook.com and join the VIP list. So, Mike, how are you?
I'm great. I'm glad you have me today.
Listen, I am glad we could catch up with you. It has just been an honor watching you on your journey and all of the amazing things that you're doing in the community. So it's an honor to have you here. We wanted to just give the audience just a little bit about your chapter in Dear Fear, what they can expect and all of that great stuff. So start by telling us, why did you even say yes? Like, how has this journey been for you?
Why did I say yes? Interesting question. I found myself in conversations with other men, oftentimes behind closed doors, whether it's barbershop conversations or just, friends hanging out and just, being at the house. And we share things behind closed doors that I know a lot of other people aren't privy to. And so a lot of times people don't get to see what goes on behind closed doors and what we're dealing with, and the inability of having somewhere to express that. Joining the project pretty much for me was giving a lot of those other men a voice, and also showing them that it's okay to express yourself, hoping that some people can find some of themselves in my chapter. My chapter is entitled, Dear Fear, You Can't Have My Peace. So it talks about some of the things that you have to come, the obstacles and things that you have to overcome, being a Black man in America and just being a man in general.
Wow, that's so powerful, knowing that you entered into a platform to be able to share some of the things that maybe you've never shared before publicly, so that not only you would have a voice, but men behind you, men that's coming, or young boys would be able to have a voice as well, and know that there's a safe place, in the world for you to be able to have a voice and be able to share. Has it been difficult for you? Like, was it difficult for you to be able to share in the book or tell your story? Because I read your story, so there's some stuff in there. I said, okay, Mike, so was it a little difficult for you?
It was difficult only because it's so close and it's so personal. And then some of the things that are close and personal are tied to other people that are close and personal to you. So coming to terms with that and being able to face that head on and say, you know what, regardless of how it may be perceived, it's being done in love, and it's being done with a good intent, and it's something that's necessary. And so sometimes difficult things are necessary to do, and we have to find a way to do those things. So.
Oh, wow. You need that. That's something. Did y'all catch that? Sometimes difficult things are necessary, but we still have to do it. That was good. If you caught that, comment below and say, I caught that, because that was good. And while you're commenting, make sure that you head over to the VIP list at dearfearbook.com and sign up for the VIP list so you can be the first to know when our new book, Dear Fear for Men, launches, and you can grab your copy. Now, Mike, you told us that your chapter is Dear Fear, You Can't Have My Peace. That's deep, So when you say Dear Fear, You Can't Have My Peace, bring us on into the chapter. What does that look like for you? What does that mean?
Well, it's a discovery of self. I think we live in a world and a society where everything is instant. And so sometimes we're trying to find ourselves. Sometimes we are in the midst of trying to be what everyone else wants us to be. Sometimes we have those voices in our heads that are telling us that we're not enough, or, we're not doing enough. We're not where we should be at a certain age or at a certain time. And really just finding the root of who I was and holding fast to that.
Wow. So what would you share for any young king that's watching, that's struggling with their peace, their inner peace? Like, what advice would you give for them?
For someone struggling with their inner peace, don't be afraid to just tap into those places that you're afraid of. We were not given the spirit of fear. That's something I talk about in my chapter. And so you have to ask yourself, where is this fear coming from? Who does not want you, you know what I'm saying, to address these things? Once you identify that, everything starts to become a little bit easier, but don't be afraid to come forth and tackle the truth that you need to address.
That's good. That's really good. And you do address that in your chapter. Like in the first beginning, you say, if God didn't give us a spirit of fear, then we must wonder, where does that come from? And that was so powerful for you to open up your chapter like that. But let me tell y'all something. If you think that I'm about to be here and give out all of Mike's chapter, y'all know I'm not about to do that. You got to go over to the VIP list and get your hands on that book, dearfearbook.com. That's powerful. And knowing that, okay, well, if the spirit of fear didn't come from God, then that means it must have come from a source that doesn't align with what God's will is for my life. Right. And so being able to tap into that and say, you know what, I know that my peace aligns and resides with my Father, and being able to just dismantle anything that doesn't line up with that. So I am so grateful that you tackled that in your chapter. For people that want to know more about you, Mike, how can they learn more about you? Like, where can they follow you at?
Well, I'm on all social media platforms. My business name is Visual Tellers, VisualTellers. And so you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any of those handles.
Perfect. And as we close it out, Mike, is there any last words? What would you share again with anyone that is connected to your audience that may be struggling with fear? They're watching this right now and they're going, man, Mike is really inspiring me right now. He told his story. He's living on the other side of fear. I want to be able to do that. What would you share with them?
It's hard to hold on to joy if you're still holding on to fear. You have to let it go. It'll consume you. It'll weigh you down. You won't progress the way that you should be flourishing in life and the way that God wants you to flourish. And so you have to let that thing go. You can't hold both at the same time. Free yourself.
Oh, that's good. Y'all heard it here. Free yourself, and make sure you go over to dearfearbook.com and join the VIP list. Listen, we'll be back with yet another amazing interview. We are so excited to have you all a part of the Fearless family. So make sure you go over to that VIP list, dearfearbook.com, and we'll see you next time on the other side of fear. Bye.